Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. If you've already subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. If you haven't, please do. And when you do, be sure and tap on the little notification bell so you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. Right now I'm having fun. Let's see, in our last video, I took my little Panhead apart because I had some oil leaks and I didn't know what was going where and what was happening. And it looked like it was all coming from the primary, so I opened the primary up in shock and amazement. There was really nothing wrong in there, except that it was kind of oily because oil had been leaking into it. So I took it all apart and cleaned it, which is kind of cool. And then I pulled the generator and replaced that gasket. But in the last video, I took that thing apart. And I've put clutches and primaries together a number of times on the channel. And I find that every time I do, I think I show something else in it. There's a lot of little details and stuff. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it back together and hopefully show a few little details that maybe you have or have not seen. And I'll give it my best shot. So here it goes. I'm going to start on this side of the bike because I'm going to put new seals in the clutch hub nut. And then I can go back over to the other side of the bike and start over. These seals don't look bad, but you know, I'm in here, it's open, you know, can't help myself. So, let me tell you, the book only calls for one seal. This goes on and holds the clutch nut hub to the main shaft of the transmission. And the clutch push rod, the throwout unit, goes through this nut, and these seals here seal the oil out. And the thing is, that hole for the seal is deep enough, you can stack two in there. And they're not very expensive, and they keep things kind of nice and clean and dry. So if one is good... Oh, by the way, everybody complains about my beat-up old rawhide mallet, so I'm using my newer one. And the reason I'm using it for this job is because I'm never going to break it in if I don't use it. And this is a beautiful old anvil that my dad left me. And a friend of mine, who's quite a machinist, actually refinished the top of this thing. That's not knocking it out, so we'll get a bigger one. Bigger punch. That'll knock it out of there, man. Anyway. So that's the story. Boy, that does not want to come out of there. Got an attitudinal disorder. Oh, I see what's happening. I'm hitting the inner one and not the outer one. Boy, oh boy. I gotta laugh at myself once in a while. Starting to find out I'm just not that good at this, you know? There we go. I can't tell you how many thousand of these I've knocked out of here.
Well, you're not over the square hole.
Well, yes I am. I am 2. Or even 3. I mean, really. Nope, that's not going to do it either. All right, good enough. Here we go. Time to get nasty.
Picked the wrong person to play with, huh?
Yeah, they really did. I mean, really. I'll show them. Show them. Show them. I don't know what I'll show them. Show them something. They always just fall right out. That's so funny.
Well, it's been in there a while, I think.
Oh, I don't know. Probably since I replaced the belt last. Which was...
Not that long ago.
That was a couple years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was when John and I came home. He was stopping traffic for me all the way home because I hardly had any teeth left on my belt.
Yep.
So I couldn't stop once I had it going.
Of course, you guys always have that kind of fun when I'm not around. Hey, you got it.
I got one. Yeah, well, what can I say? It was really neat the way John was stopping traffic. I felt like I was real important, you know?
I'd have done
Yeah.
the same for you.
Okay, I'd have been twice as important.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, nobody really got mad at me, which was good.
You're riding baby doll.
Yeah.
It's hard to get mad at you when you're riding a beautiful bike.
She's got cute down to a science. She's like a good dog, you know? So Sonia when she's good. Okay, now. Okay. Now somebody's going to write into the channel and they're going to say, you realize how much time you killed? Was it 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Don't complain, it wasn't that bad.
Well, why are you... It's so tight.
What, the nut? The seal?
No, it's picture.
I don't know. Okay, so now put a little grease on this thing. I think I'll put a little grease in the nut. And this thing will slide right in. It says here. Yeah. On the seal, on the nut, who cares? Do it both.
Okay.
Thank you very much. There we go. Okay, now we'll take this other seal.
Put grease in it?
Yeah. Sure. It's got to slide on something. Those things should not be put together dry, you know. Start putting seals and things together dry, you tear them up putting them in. Of course, I'm tearing this up anyway. If you do it just right, you get it centered and you go like that. Pretty cool, huh? That's it. It's in. Well, I'm telling you, that was such an ordeal. I could take a socket and sink it in there, but it's in there flat. It's perfect. You can look at it and see the way it's just like that. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry if I bored everybody with that deal, but there it is. Okay, so now what I want to do is I cleaned all this stuff up, so I'm not going to bore anybody by cleaning it. But let's get a couple things together here. There it is, okay. I cleaned the bearing and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do, because it's rough to put this together with all these rollers. So usually you put them together and put the retainer on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my ramjet retainer. And if you watch closely, you'll see me put this on here like so, without dropping a single roller off of it, which would have taken another 20 minutes. Anyway, and I'm using a ramjet retainer on here. Now, I remember this thing being a B, and it's not. They're 1, 2, 3s.
I told you it was a number.
And which number did you say?
I said it was 2.
Well, see, now
Stupid.
that would be a B, wouldn't it? Okay.
I said B for baby doll.
Is that what I said?
No, I did.
Okay.
That's what we said.
Is that what we said?
We said.
Couldn't have been me or you. Must have been two other guys. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the right position for number 2 and put it on just for giggles because we're going to take it off again anyway.
Huh?
Yeah, we have to take it off again. We're just going to put it on right now. To hold that on. To hold the bearing in, okay? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use this to hold the bearing on, and we're going to find the keyway, which is right there. Incidentally, when you're inspecting a clutch hub, everybody that's watching, always look in the keyway because people over-tightening them is what cracks them. And if they're going to crack, they'll crack in one of the corners of the keyway. So you always want to look your clutch hubs over real good, which I did. I looked all this stuff over and cleaned it and all that. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Here we go. We're going to put it in there a little bit better. And then we'll slide it on again. See if we can slide it on straight. We're on straight. Okay, now we'll take this nut and this lock tab. We'll put the lock tab in there first. Now the keyway, I'm not happy with that key at all. Not happy with that even. Look at that. Let me see if I can grease it up in there a little bit. Be right back. I didn't realize it wasn't that tight. Let's put that key back in there now. We've got it in there nice and straight and flat. We'll put it straight up so we can see it. And I'm going to watch it very carefully as I install it. Nope. Nope, I don't like it. I'd like to make it a little tighter. You know, I hate to say it, but we may have to stop this video and me go dig up a new key. I don't like that. Let's see what we can.
Is it backwards?
No. Let me see if I can maybe modify it just a little bit. Yeah, everything's clean. Pardon?
You got sealer over here?
I'm trying to get in. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to take this here key. I'm going to see if I can make it a little tighter. That's a nice new key. All right.
You put dimples in it?
I did, and that should make it just a hair tighter, which would make me happy.
That's something new.
Pardon?
That is something new.
I'll take that. That's nothing new. Well,
somebody else.
Okay. Kind of hard to get in there. There we go. And that's how you do it. And if that looked a little bit kind of backwoods to somebody, I'm sorry. That's, I want that key to be tight. I want it to fit well. And I pounded it in with a brass mallet so that I wouldn't distort it. And that, sir, is lovey-dovey.
Hey.
Yes, that fits beautifully. Now we'll put this lock tab in here. Did you turn off the compressor?
Mm-hmm.
Good, thank you. Because it should be pumped up and do the job for me. Well, it was.
You can always turn the sound off, too.
That's true. Okay, now, what I want to do is put just a tiny little drop of Loctite on there. Well, we'll put it in the nut, it'll be easier.
One drop.
One drop. And one drop means one drop. And you saw me take most of it back out again. Okay, now, hang on a second, get a little grease on my finger for that push rod. Oh, I like the way that key fit. That key fit perfectly.
Sure.
Huh?
I think the viewers are going to enjoy it.
I don't know.
That trick.
I don't know. It's
I've never seen that before.
no.
Nope.
Well, yeah, tighten it up. And when you tighten anything you need to tighten up, you may not like the method, but if you sink a little metal, it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
It swells.
Swells.
So by taking a sharp punch and doing that,
You raise dimples on it.
I just raised a little material.
Yeah.
Just a little, not much.
No.
You saw how it went in, but it was tight. It stayed. When I put the hub up there, it didn't move.
Nope.
Okay, now this is a left-hand nut. This is the clutch hub nut. And there it is. And it's going on. And what I'm going to do is look and make sure that that lock tab stayed in place. Because there's one tooth of it that goes into the keyway. And locks that in place. So we'll do that. And we'll,
You should have seen that.
well, we had a,
Okay, let me
I'm
take
sure
a
there's
peek at
another
it.
lock tab around here somewhere if you want to see
Let me
one.
take a peek
Go ahead.
now. Okay, I see it.
Okay? All right.
Thank you very much.
That's all right. So I'm going to take this here. And there it is. So I'm just going to tap it a little bit with the impact to make sure it stays where I want it. Wherever that may be. Let's see. So the compressor is hooked up and it's turned off so we won't get any noise from it other than the god-awful noise I'm going to make with the impact. And I'm going to set this for,
Everybody turn down your volume.
yeah, really.
Here we go.
And see, I'm going to hold that retainer again. That was it, folks. Now I will need to do it on the motor pulley too. But first, I'm going to take this off. Take that retainer off very carefully. And I'm going to take the motor pulley and the clutch basket and put them both in place. Now, notice when I pick this up, I can see the emblems on it and read them. That means I'm running this in the same direction I was running it when I took it apart. Okay. Now, let's pick that up. Okay, now, this one, the motor pulley up front here. I have got it with the keyway straight up. And the clutch basket is slid in place.
Very good.
You like that?
Yes. One-handed.
Okay. Gee, I liked it too. Wasn't that nice? Now,
Hurry up before we run out of air.
Now, this belt, you'll get all kinds of opinions on them. The manufacturer at the time used to say you could twist the belt till it's vertical. Then it was loose enough. Too many people make these belts way too tight. And this is, from experience, I've done real well. My last belt lasted me 20-some years on it.
How tight is it? Twist it.
Well, I just did.
I need to see that.
It will go almost vertical.
Almost vertical.
Mm-hmm. It's loose enough, it's happy, and it's been real happy like this for a long time. So what I'm going to do is slide this retainer in there so I can quit worrying about this thing. So here's a number 2 and a number 2, and you'll see, because we have a 3-stud hub, there's 2 studs between each adjusting stud, and then this one there's 3. So you go to a number 2 that has 3 more, just like that. And on she goes. And I think, yeah, that looks right. I can look in there and see the grooves for the snap rings. And if you remember in the last video,
You don't want to put that nut on that.
oh, the lock tab. The nut on what?
On your.
No, I want to protect I don't want this falling off.
Got it.
Okay? What I do want to do is bend a there we go. I want to bend a tab there. There it is. Okay, now if you want to see in there, I can turn this light down a little bit,
Thank you.
and that should do it. Okay? See it now?
I think so.
Right there. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to tighten it up just a little bit.
Bent it up.
Yeah.
Or out.
Up, out,
Out.
and around. Okay, that's all right. Sometimes I have to really laugh at myself. Between that key and that clutch hub nut, I don't know. You know?
I think we're doing great here.
Okay, here's our throw out, and it looks lovey-dovey. And we have, like I said, we were going to put these snap rings on, and I had a difficult time taking them off, and that's just a tired old pair of hands, because I've taken these off a million times with my fingernails, and, you know.
Put them on should be easier.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to use your handy-dandy headlight?
I could, but I don't know what for. There we go.
Turn it off.
There we
I
go.
heard it click.
Yep.
It's in there.
Yep.
Some light in there. Yeah, it's in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now we'll turn off the light and turn off the lights, dear. Okay. And we'll get the next 2 in here. I could have used snap ring pliers and all that, but you know, it would be a little easier. Let me get them. Because we're getting close to done here. Okay. Excuse me. You just wanted to play with that light, I know you did. They're pretty cool. There we go. Oh, that is easier, isn't it? You ready? Mm-hmm. You hear it?
Yep.
Now you heard it.
I heard that one.
That second click.
The other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is a number 2 fit. Mm-hmm. Okay, and what that does, again, is it holds that basket straight, that clutch basket straight, so your clutch is not surging or chattering or doing any of those things we all hate. Okay, and this is the last one. And there it is. No, it's in there. Here, see? It's there all the way. Okay. Now, look at this, just to see how well that works. And the clutch hub goes like that. And the keyway and the key are exactly in the right places. There's no wobble. And I don't care how many of them you take apart, 99% of them you'll take apart wobble. And this is the time that you fix it, right now while you're putting it on. Okay, so here is the rest of the stuff that holds the front pulley in place. We have a nut and a washer. Here's the nut. We'll give this thing just a dot of red Loctite. And I'm telling you, you put too much of this on, you will be fighting it later. So don't. There it is. Alrighty, and there it is. See, everything's tight now. All right. And I had an impact, and it looked just like this. And we'll put her in place now. Now, unlike the clutch hub, this is a right-hand thread.
Lower your volume.
Now, this thing is pretty much on low pressure, and that was just fine. And she's off. All right, so now it's just kind of a party. It's not that big a deal. I did clean up everything going into this clutch, and it's all located right here. Now, if you spent your money on a nice belt drive, which this is, and I did, then you really don't like tearing it up inside. Now, some belt drives come with a steel plate you drop in there. Some don't. This one didn't. And the clutch lining, you can see it scored it all up, which really doesn't, I guess, hurt anything, but I can't stand to tear things up if I can help it. So I took an old steel plate for a clutch, And I rounded the edges so it would drop right into the bottom of this. And I took the buffers off it, and voila. And it lives there, and it's lived there for a long time. So, anyway, so now we'll put the plates in. And the other steels have buffers on them, which is what keeps the clutch nice and quiet. And these plates are also marked out, so they go, everything goes in the right direction. And you put one in. And then you put in a fiber. I cleaned all this stuff up yesterday, so anyway. And then when you put these together, you stagger the buffers. So there's a buffer here, so we'll put one on the next one because they're on every other one. We'll do that. What happens is you don't have enough space in there and they'll hit each other. And we don't want anybody hitting each other. Okay, now, again, I want just a little dab of grease on the end of that push rod. Okay. Actually, it's on the adjuster, but same. So we find the 3 studs. Here's the 3. And there it is. This is a, wow, HES Products. I don't know if HES Products even exists anymore. That was an old buddy of mine, Andy Hansen, and he made these. And I think they're just a beautiful part. And I liked Andy a bunch too. He was a good guy. Andy was running a shovel head at Bonneville. It was liquid cooled. He had great big water jackets on it, and it was pretty neat. He lived in Venice in the old days. That's Venice, California. Starting to question these studs a little bit. What's really funny is when you're installing parts in front of the camera and you just can't get them to start right or anything.
Because the camera's on.
Because the camera's on. Okay. I don't see a 9/16, which I should have left out here, and I didn't. Ran around and got everything ready to go, but I didn't leave a 9/16 out. And here it is now. Okay. Let's get these on a little better before we go running off half clicked. There we go. Okay. That looks like it's kind of in the neighborhood. And we'll take this off. And we'll take our valve collar off of here. Back here, you. There it is. And there it is. And we'll get this all adjusted when we put the pedal in place. But you can watch as you do this. You can see it moving the arm. Okay, there it is. It ran out of space as it hit the bottom of the battery tray. That's an interesting thing about these bikes. In learning to adjust those things years ago, I was looking at how the arm would hit the battery tray. And then you're going to put a new battery tray in something. But all the used ones were bent. You see, look right back in there, you can see the way that's bent. See where that's bent up? Mm-hmm. That's to clear the arm. Mm. That was done at the factory. Ah. It used to drive me nuts. I mean, I was all ready to put new ones in everything. And it's a factory thing. And I decided if I ever worked for the factory, or Harley Davidson, that was the job I wanted. I wanted to be the guy with the hammer that bent all those battery trays. You don't think that's cool, huh?
I think it's way cool.
Well, yeah, I'm the guy with the hammer. Okay, so we're pretty well set now. That was, and I showed how to do this on the last video, measuring it. Now, the thing to remember is with this aluminum releasing disc is that it's thick. It's much thicker than the Harley steel one. So what you have to do is in your measurement that you're doing by the book with a Harley steel one, you want to measure the depth of these holes the springs are sitting in because you have to allow for that depth when you make this. In other words, you subtract that depth from this measurement so that you get it right. Anyway, this thing for all intents and purposes is done. Like I said, I put the generator back in. I did this. I don't think anyone needs to see me put a cover or a clutch pedal on. So we have reassembled the entire clutch assembly. And I'm satisfied with it. I hope everybody else likes it. Now let's see what else we have. Something else we have. Oh yes, I want to remind everybody. Rollin' Free Motorcycle Swap Meet is May 25th, 2024. And it is the Saskatoon Motorcycle. It is the 3rd annual Saskatoon Motorcycle Swap Meet. And that is in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. You know, we have a whole bunch of viewers in Canada, and anybody wants me to announce something like that for me, give me the information, send it into the, to our comment section, and if we can do it, we'll do it. If it gets to the point where we have too many and I'm wasting too much time doing it, I won't keep it going. But, I mean, gee, I like to go to everything in my neighborhood. I think you ought to know about everything in your neighborhood. Anyway, so the big deal is this swap meet is at the Sutherland Curling Club at 141 Jessup Avenue from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, here's the good thing. The text number to get the information, because you didn't get it that well from me, is 306, that's area code 306-291-4741. So hopefully you guys can make that swap meet. I'm counting on seeing these people at Born Free in Orange County this year. Okay, other than that, if you need a t-shirt or one of our baseball caps, by all means, go to pacificmike.com, which is our website, and in the upper right-hand corner of that it says Shirt Store. Click on that and you can order a shirt.
Yeah.
The neighbors just got a golf cart and they're going by with piles of kids on it. So
come on, folks, check out the hats. You guys get rid of some hats. We can maybe get another t-shirt style going.
I love these hats.
Oh, you're not getting that off, brother.
Oh, okay. I was going to put it on and model it.
Well, now, next time you let me know, I'll make a release on it for you.
Okay. All right. Anyway, there it is. And until next time. By the way, what am I doing next time? I have that 65 Marine bike coming back. And I've got some neat stuff to do with that, which is pretty much like what I just did on this, only that one's going to be with the mousetrap. We're going back into it again, and we're restoring it, putting in all stock clutches. in it, so it'll work well with its original mousetrap. So you might want to see that if you're into clutches. And you're in the clutches of what? Anyway, until then, see you out on the road.